afternoon, Cardinals, and welcome to the first broadcast of the semester. I'm Devin Villarreal.
And I'm Cesar Aguilar. Well, the semester got off to a running start with the Logos holding their first meeting earlier this month to give students the opportunity to write for the paper. Tanya Hajali has more on the story.
UIW Logos kicked off the semester with their first meeting, where students and volunteers meet for food, drinks, and a chance to write for the Logos, the student-run newspaper here at UIW.
We had the first meeting for the Logos, and it was to produce our late August issue. It was so amazing. There was more people than I could ever imagine, and so many people were interested in working for the Logos.
I'm really excited to get started, see what I'll learn in this class. So it's my first time here, and they're just kind of getting ideas, getting people assigned to stories for the upcoming issue.
New issues are published monthly, and for more information, like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter, and visit them at uiwlogos.org. I'm Tanya Hajali, reporting for UIWtv.
Thank you, Tanya. The next issue of the Logos will be out by the end of this month. Well, with all this Texas heat, the university has found a way to keep us Cardinals cool. The Student Government Association implemented a new project to get refillable water stations installed around campus. We splashed to Joshua Owen with more on the story.
UIW recently installed refillable water stations all around campus. We spoke with SGA Chief of Staff Olympia Cuellar about the process of getting them installed.
Former President Michelle Welk took it on as the project manager, and she worked with organizations like Sustain here on campus to really get that done. Now the students have more than just one location to refill their water bottles with clean water. Before, we only had one water filter in the campus, and that was located in the Wellness Center. So now there's multiple locations here on campus for them to get clean water and to improve their general health.
I was really happy to see that they installed those. I've been seeing them around town and at other campuses, and I was really happy because I used to come up here and refill my water bottle just at the regular drinking fountain.
They're actually very convenient. They fill up a lot faster than, just aiming the bottle and trying to get the stream to actually work.
The refillable fountains are actually very useful. Like I often bring disposable water bottles, but with these, very useful.
Last year we really stressed to the students, we're going to implement these new water stations, and if it's something that's successful and something that you guys would like to see more of course they can always come to the Student Government Association and we can make that happen.
So if you're looking to quench your thirst, don't forget to take advantage of these new water stations around campus. I'm Joshua Owen with UIWtv.
Thanks, Joshua. The stations are available in each building on campus. Moving on to political news, Republican presidential candidate Scott Walker stopped by the Bill Millers across campus to speak with voters about his campaign and his stance on recent news. Here's Olivia Amarudis with more.
Today, Republican presidential candidate Scott Walker came to Bill Miller's to inform the public about his ideas on policies and controversial issues that are facing our country. During his visit, Scott Walker expounded on his political platform and spoke about his plans to reform health care and resolve police violence.
I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. Earlier today, I spoke out about the cold-blooded assassination of a deputy sheriff in Harris County over outside of Houston. You look at Darren Goforth, he now has a widow and 2 children because all he was doing was pumping gas into his squad car, and someone came up and put 15 shots into him. Why? As the sheriff said, largely they suspect because he was wearing the uniform of law enforcement. That is outrageous. That's not the America I grew up in, and I don't think that's the America we want our children to grow up in. We need to speak out about anything like that, and we need to stand up and protect the men and women who protect us every single day. I'll stand up for the law enforcement officials, the police officers, the sheriff deputies, and the troopers anytime they're under attack.
We had the opportunity to ask Scott Walker his opinion on the state's campus carry law.
Well, ultimately, the people we should fear are people who are not legally carrying out there, and those are our criminals. And so the best thing we should be doing to make not just our campuses safe, but anywhere else safe across America is clamping down on criminals, and that means supporting our law enforcement and giving them the tools they need to keep us safe.
Thank you to Scott Walker and his team for answering all of our questions today. For more information about his 2016 presidential campaign, visit his website, www.scottwalker.com. I'm Olivia Amarudis reporting for UIWtv.
Thanks, Olivia.
And we now go to Rory Dew with headlining news from around the world.
A British Airways aircraft bound for London was forced to evacuate 172 passengers and crew when an engine caught fire at McCarran International Airport in Las Vegas on Tuesday. A number of passengers were taken to hospital for treatment of minor injuries. A British Airways spokesperson advised that all customers who had been hospitalized have since been released. Wednesday saw Apple's much-anticipated 2015 edition of its annual product event. Throughout the event, Apple introduced the new iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, the iPad Pro, and improvements to the iWatch and Apple TV. The new iPhones will be available from September 25th. Wednesday also saw an impressive milestone achieved by Queen Elizabeth II of England. As of 5:30 p.m. British time, the Queen had held the throne for 23,226 days, 16 hours, and 30 minutes. She took the record of longest reigning British monarch from her great-great-grandmother, Queen Victoria. Kentucky clerk Kim Davis was released from jail Tuesday after serving 5 days behind bars. Davis was deemed to be in contempt of court for refusing to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples due to her religious beliefs. A large crowd celebrated Davis' release, including Republican presidential hopefuls Mike Huckabee and Ted Cruz. Hundreds of thousands of refugees, largely from Syria, continue to travel to Europe. Most are making their way to Turkey, from where they attempt a treacherous journey across the Mediterranean to Greece. The European Union continues to work towards an amicable way to disperse refugees amongst member nations.
Thank you, Rory. We'll be back with entertainment and sports after these messages.
Hello Cardinals, I'm Carissa Rangel.
And I'm Amanda Ramos.
For this edition of The Word, we will be letting you know of all the college-friendly local events that will be happening in and around town. Alamo City Comic-Con has grown into a national contender in just 3 short years, with attendance doubling each year. Comic-Con is estimated to have over 90,000 local participants this weekend. With these numbers in mind, San Antonio's 3rd annual convention would make the rank as the country's 7th largest Comic-Con. UIW's own adjunct instructor, Vanessa Lopez, has attended the first 2 Comic-Cons and is planning on attending the 3rd. We hope to see you out there, Cardinals.
As a part of the first 2 days of Comic-Con, a coinciding film festival will take place next door to the convention center at the Lila Cockrell Theater. Tickets for the event can be bought for as little as $7, or you can decide to get day passes or even badges for the weekend. While you're out there, watch out for some familiar faces from the big screen like Josh Brolin, Joey Lauren Adams, and Ron Perlman.
If you're looking for something to do this weekend, there are events going on all around the city. It's Second Thursday today, and the McNay Art Museum has a great party on its lawn every month, with live music, food trucks, drinks, and free admission to the museum.
Every Friday, there are free concerts at the Tower of the Americas Plaza. The Party on the Plaza series goes until October 30th. Stop by from 7 to 11 for this week's performer, Crossfire.
Saturday, the San Antonio Botanical Gardens has Brews and Blooms, a night among the flowers, sampling beer, listening to music, and eating from your favorite food trucks. Still not sure what to do this weekend? Well, we've got a list of upcoming movies you don't want to miss.
That's right. This weekend, the highly anticipated suspense film, The Perfect Guy, will be coming to theaters this Friday, September the 11th.
Another thriller that's coming out the same day is M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit.
As some of you may know, Shyamalan has produced, directed, and written some of the well-known scary movies we still watch today, such as The Sixth Sense, Signs, and The Village. Although I hope that The Visit does a little bit better than The Village did. I wasn't a big fan of that one.
I'm not really a fan of scary movies, so I don't think I'm going to be seeing these. So like me, if you're not into horror movies, there are other movies you might want to check out. Like if you haven't already seen it, Straight Outta Compton.
Yes, even though this movie has been out for a little while now, it has been receiving great reviews across the board and has racked up over $60.2 million in box office reports. Fortune has referred to this film as the sleeper hit of the summer.
In other exciting news, Chipotle has announced that they are now going to be offering delivery services. The announcement was made in late April of this year for larger cities like Miami and LA, but now the delivery service has expanded to the local San Antonio area.
Yes, the fast casual food chain is now delivering in 67 cities, including Austin, Dallas, and Houston.
And now Chipotle lovers can order and enjoy their bowls and burritos in the comfort of their own home without having to wait in those long, annoying lines.
Taco Bell is another popular fast food chain that has also recently jumped on the delivery bandwagon. So, Carissa, I heard you went to the Vintage Expo.
Yes, I did, and it was a lot of fun, and I wanted to buy everything. So, let's take a look.
Hey Cardinals, we're at the Austin Highway Event Center for the first ever Vintage Expo, a 2-day event for all things vintage. So, let's check it out and get to shopping. The San Antonio Vintage Expo sells almost everything, even priceless art. So how did you come up with the idea for this event?
I just thought San Antonio really needed something that was not an antique show, not a toy show, but more of a broad spectrum show where you could find a little bit of everything, something for everybody. Kind of like Austin has their big show every month.
I interviewed one of the vendors about her store and the success of the expo.
I'm from Austin, and I have a shop online on Etsy. It's called Little Stars Vintage. And this is my booth here at the San Antonio Vintage Expo. And I sell vintage clothing for men and women and accessories.
So how do you feel about the success of this event?
I think this event is a success, and it's been very well attended from the time it opened yesterday morning at 10. There were people in here, there were people lined up out front to come in, so it's been wonderful. And we've had a lot of people interested in clothes, and I've seen them hauling furniture out, so they've been selling furniture, and it's been great.
Whether it be hair bows or comics, the Vintage Expo had many nice things. So if you're into vintage, antiques, or collectibles and you missed this event, be sure to check it out when it returns next spring. Reporting for UIWtv, I'm Carissa Rangel.
Wow, that looked like a great time. There's a lot of things that us Cardinals can get ourselves into this coming month.
That's for sure. Be sure to have fun and stay safe. Thanks for tuning into The Word.
The Office of Financial Assistance is here to help with SALT. SaltMoney.org is a program that provides you with tools and resources to build money skills for life. And it's free as a student or alumni of UIW. Just sign up at saltmoney.org. SALT's resources can help you compare student loan borrowing options, provide you with tips on building smart financial habits, find scholarships, internships, and jobs. And tools like the Fix app can help track your expenses, all to help you take control of your finances.
If you have any questions about the SALT program or financial aid in general, please stop by our office located behind the administration building. All walk-ins are welcome and no appointment is necessary. We'll be happy to answer any questions you may have and find the funding you need. We're here to help.
Welcome back, Cardinals. I'm Daniel Janselson.
And I'm Olivia Amarudis. Here are the latest updates for our Cardinals athletics teams. The cross-country team started their season last Tuesday at Baylor, with the women finishing in 5th place, led by senior Rainey Castañeda. The men finished in 4th, led by freshman Garrett Cortez. Tanya Hajali gives us an insight into the 2015 season.
The UIW cross-country team just wrapped up their first meet at Baylor last week. Here's a sneak peek of our rock stars in action during practice as we follow up with Coach and the team.
The Baylor meet was good for us. The women ran first, they ran a 4K, but they still beat UT Arlington. The men ran really well. They stayed in the pack the whole race. It was a 6K. So they did a good job, and they beat TCU. And they ran right there with UT Arlington and Baylor and just kind of toe-to-toe with both of those schools.
Coming down for me from Wisconsin to Texas, getting a little hospitality and seeing the Texas work ethics down here has been just enjoyable for me overall. And it's a group of athletes that just looks to get after it each and every day.
Personal goal is to finish at least in the top 10 in conference. Our conference is stacked with a lot of fast Division I runners, and I'm excited for that because it's going to push us to run one of our fastest times ever in our cross-country season. And it's my last cross-country season, so I'm excited and I want to end it with a bang.
And as far as, I guess, moving forward for the season, we run at Rice next Friday. that's a big meet for us. There's quite a few schools that we run against in the Southland Conference that'll be there, so it'll be a good test for us. The team's real motivated to see how they compare. I know the team's really excited about that.
This is Tanya Hajali from UIWtv.
Thank you, Tanya. The women's soccer team start the season with a pair of wins against UT Rio Grande Valley and South Carolina State, but have since lost 4 matches to tough opponents. Here's what coaches and players have to say about the season.
Today, I'm at Benson Stadium, where the women's soccer team is gearing up for tomorrow's game against Houston. Let's see what the girls have to say as to how they're preparing for tomorrow's game. We spoke to head coach Ann Feltz, who told us of her expectations for the team this season.
But really, I just want to see improvement every day from these kids and want to see it in the results.
Senior Megan Baker shared her excitement for this week's game with us.
We're just getting pumped for the game, to have another win on our record. And we got some good dancers that you may see when they score.
As a senior captain, Heather Kowalik told us of her vision for her final season.
I think just become one as a team, honestly, because when we play as a team, like, we're so unstoppable. But as individuals, I mean, anybody can be stopped.
We have all the tools tactically and technically. I feel like we need to bring it up another notch with the mental focus and preparation.
Make sure to come out this season to Benson Stadium to support the women's soccer team. I'm Olivia Almarudis reporting for UIWtv. Go Cards!
Don't forget to support the team on September 18th. Moving on to football, the first game of the season brought an 18-16 win over Texas A&M Kingsville. In his first game back, senior quarterback Trent Britton rushed for 109 yards and passed for 167 yards, including a touchdown pass. This Saturday, they travel to Louisiana to face McNeese State, and their next home game takes place on September 19th against Nichols.
The volleyball team has also started action in 2015. They are 2-4 after 2 very tough tournaments, but picked up 2 great wins against UT Rio Grande Valley and Southern University last weekend. This weekend, they have 3 difficult matches in New Orleans against Tulane, TCU, and North Carolina State. The men's soccer team is off to a terrific start this year. After starting the season 0-5 last year, they are 2-1 this season after beating Oral Roberts 3-0 and Central Arkansas 2-1. They would look to continue the hot start with games against Sacramento State and Wisconsin, Green Bay, and Phoenix, Arizona this weekend.
The men and women's tennis teams will begin their fall season by participating in the Islander Open Invitational and the Trinity Quad this weekend. The following weekend, the women will play in the St. Mary's Invitational.
Finally, we want to congratulate Jordan Hicks from the football team and Shayna Garza from the volleyball team for being named UIW Athletes of the Week. Hicks scored 2 touchdowns in the win, and Garza compiled an impressive 36 kills in 3 matches over the weekend.
Remember to visit UIWCardinals.com for schedules, updates, and results for all our Cardinals athletics teams. That's all for sports this week. Next, Ruben Gonzalez has a Cardinals weather update.
Good afternoon and happy Thursday, Cardinals. I'm student meteorologist Ruben Gonzalez, and finally the summertime heat is starting to lose its grip, and the fall season is starting to settle in. So we could use a little break from the heat, so having fall around the corner is great news. So temperatures this morning, we were a little bit on the cool side, around the mid 70s, around there. So then here, San Antonio, we started out around 73 degrees. New Braunfels, we were a little bit cooler at 71, and then out toward Lake Medina, 72 degrees. So right over Texas, we have this cold front parked right over central Texas, just to the north of Austin area. And what this front is doing is kind of causing a little bit of instability over the atmosphere. It's also attracting in a lot of moisture from the Gulf. And so with all this moisture and instability, we are firing up a lot of thunderstorms across the area. And so here in San Antonio, expect a little bit of rain. But regions outward, especially toward the south, you'll expect a few more numerous storms. So forecast highs today around 92 degrees here in the metro area, a little bit cooler out to the north in New Braunfels, 91, and then it will still be like around a constant 92 degrees out toward Lavernia and Floresville. And so later tonight, when the rain tapers off a little bit, we'll cool down to the mid-70s, so 75 here in the metro area, and then we'll also cool down to like 74 in Poteet, 74 out on Lytle, a little bit cooler out on Lake Medina, 73 degrees. And then also tomorrow, because we'll still have some leftover moisture around working in from the Gulf, we're still going to have a little bit of mugginess outside. We'll still have a little bit of rain out there, but the highs will still cool down a little bit. So here I'm going to call for 89 degrees in San Antonio, 89 down in Lytle, a little bit cooler up to the north at New Braunfels, 88 degrees. And then later today, here in the nest of UIW, I'm going to call for a high around 92 degrees, and then we'll still have thunderstorms work through the area. So just like yesterday, we had a quick little shower go through the late afternoon. We're going to have kind of like a repeat, except expect the rain to be a little bit heavier, so make sure that you have your umbrellas handy today, especially this afternoon. And then I'm going to call for about 50% chance of storms, low temperature 75 when you wake up tomorrow morning. And then for your 5-day forecast, tomorrow to start off the weekend, I'm still going to throw in a 30% chance of storms just because there's still a little bit of leftover moisture to work with from the Gulf, and then we'll still fire up a few thunderstorms. So we may get a shower or two roll through the area tomorrow. So the highest will still be on the mild side, 92 degrees. But then as you work into the weekend, the highs will start to cool down a little bit. The rain will taper off a bit. For Saturday, I'll throw in just about 20% chance because it'll be hit or miss showers, not as numerous as today or Friday, but we'll still have a little bit of moisture to work with. So 89 for Saturday, and then Sunday, there'll still be a few clouds, but by then the rain should already be tapered off, and so I'll still call for a high of 89. But then for the beginning part of next week, I expect temperatures to come back up just a little bit, not so hot like the 100-degree temperatures that we've had the previous few weeks, but I mean, we'll still be a little bit on the warm side, around 90 to 91, but we'll have abundant sunshine and beautiful weather for the San Antonio metro area. You're up to date with your forecast. I'm student meteorologist Ruben Gonzalez. Let's go Cardinals.
Thanks, Ruben. Well, Cardinals, that's all we have time for in this week's broadcast. Make sure to tune in on Thursday, September 24th, when we will bring you UIWtv News live at 12:30.
Until then, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and visit us at UIWtv.org.
Thanks for tuning in. My name is Devin Villarreal.
And I'm Cesar Aguilar. See you next time, and let's go Cardinals.